Uh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, agents, admin, ops, ISA, Brivity tech people, support, sales, success, place corporate, everybody. Welcome to Friday's call with what somebody named one day Bad Dad. Good Dad is in Hawaii with his kiddos playing on the beach. Chris, I imagine right now, I'm just envisioning Chris with water wings on, and Chris is in the pool, just floating around with his water wings because he doesn't weigh enough to actually float. So he needs the water wings and just enjoying just an awesome break. And he works so hard. He's such an awesome human, isn't he, everybody? Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But he's not Bad Dad. Bad Dad is here to bring it today, shake you up a little bit. I'm gonna offend 2 or 3 people, I guarantee it. Somebody's gonna drop off the call because you aren't ready to hear this. You aren't ready to hear what we're gonna talk about today. But I'm ready because I'm jacked and I'm excited for 2022. So let's get this potty started. We kind of got a little bit of news that happened the other day. I don't know if you guys and gals were reading the news at all. I don't know if you're on the Real Deal, GeekWire, TechCrunch, Crunchbase, the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Yahoo Financial, the amazing Bellingham Herald, ladies and gentlemen. The company that you are all a part of was showcased for raising $100 million and becoming one of a few billion-dollar companies in the world, backed by one of the largest and most prestigious banks in existence, Goldman Sachs. What I was thinking about today was, why does that matter? Andrew, there's only 900 private companies in the world with a valuation over $1 billion. I'm talking about companies like Better Mortgage and Canva, and up until a week or two ago, companies like Rivian, right? SpaceX is in this category. It's so exciting that we have this opportunity. But one of the things I understand is that some of you are thinking about, why do I care? Well, we at Place, all of us, we're a real estate technology platform that provides everything top professionals, our agents and our partners need for their business, all in one place. That's what we're doing. And you haven't seen nothing yet. All the things we built today have been with the employees we have today, but you will fast forward in 12 to 18 months, and there will be 1,000 individuals working at our company, supporting each one of you, making your lives better and making it easier for you to service the customers that we care about. So why do we care? Well, Joshua, this is your company. You're going to have an opportunity to be a stockholder in this company, whether you're an admin, an employee, a Brivity tech worker, an agent, or an operator. Every one of you in 2022 will have an opportunity to be an owner of this company. I want to look up and say, my partners on this call are literally my partners. Here's something else that's cool, Carrie. Goldman Sachs is also now your partner. The capital that they're investing in Place, man, I kind of wish it went to me so I could go buy a ranch in Montana. It'd be like the Yellowstone. Who's the dad in Yellowstone right now? Somebody help me out? He was also in the Postman and Waterworld. What's his name?
Kevin Costner.
I look like a chubby Kevin Costner. Don't you guys agree? Like I need a hat. I look like Kevin. What I need is a ranch. But Here's the problem. I don't get to use any of this money to buy my ranch. Nope. I have to use this capital to make your technology better and to improve the services that we provide to our customers. I said earlier what we are today, but in the future, we are going to be the platform that provides everything the customer needs for their home, all in one place. You know why? Because I don't want them to forget about you, Robin and Carol and Tyree and Christine and Corey and Laurel and Amber. I don't want them to forget about you. I don't want to be the tender of real estate. I don't want to be a one-night stand that happens every 8 to 12 years when somebody buys or sells a house. I want to be the person that they think of whenever they think of their home. And I want you to be that person too. So just dream in the future a little bit with me. What if the Place app in the future was where they checked their mortgage statement and they shop for insurance and they ordered repairs for their house and they saw what their value was and they got their market reports and they accessed their old transactions and they text and communicated with you, their preferred agent? What if all that happened? They would never forget you. You would be their agent for life. We would provide savings and opportunities for these consumers to experience what we call the dream of home ownership. And the dream of home ownership, everybody, man, that's life-changing. That's life-changing. Let me tell you how life-changing it is. Andrea, if you went out there and you saved up enough money for a down payment for a house, I don't know if Andrea owns a house or not, so I'm going to pretend that Andrea doesn't. And we go out there and we buy this house. And then for the next 2 years, you paint the cabinets and you replace the knobs and you make it nice and you do the landscape and you just make it a better place. But in 2 years, instead of selling that house, you buy another one and you rent out the first one. Similar price. And we do that 5 times, Andrea. If you do that 5 times at the average price in America, at the end of 30 years, you will have $8 million worth of real estate. And you will have only had to have come up with a down payment 5 times of 3 to 5% of the purchase price. Most of you are real estate agents, so that you only have to come up with 2% because we can use the commission as your down payment. I don't know. Does $8 million seem like a decent net worth for all? Let's just wave at me if you'd like an extra $8 million. That would get us all a little closer, Tyree, to having that ranch in Montana or that beach house or that private island. Isaac, I don't know what we're dreaming of. You guys can all dream of whatever you're dreaming of. I want a ranch and a Kevin Costner hat. That's what I want. But that's going to only happen if we get our shit together. So the name of today's session, how to kick ass in 2022. Why? Because Chris would never say anything like this. Chris doesn't have a potty mouth. And Chris is not even listening, so I don't get in trouble. This gets to be about how do you kick ass in 2022. That's the entire call. Can you believe it, Jennifer? Can you believe it? No, you have a great headband. I love it. It's beautiful. Amber, Joshua, Amy. Hey, everybody, if you're here today, do me a favor, turn on your camera if you can. And jump into chat and tell me who you are and where you're from. I want that chat freaking blowing up right now. I want it blowing up in the entire call. I want that thing blowing up with ahas and ideas and quotes and thoughts and things that you're thinking. If it's not blowing up, I'm going to blow you up. I'm going to send you one of those glitter bombs or one of those dog turn things that you can send in the mail. I'll be fired up if this thing is not rocking and rolling nonstop. I got it open so I can see. I can see it coming in. Hey, Katie. Oh my gosh, it's moving so fast I can't even read it. That's exactly what I wanted today. Because I want to kick ass in 2022. I want to kick ass in 22. How does that start, everybody? It starts with having written goals. It's why Mary and Sharon and Tim and Jessica and Luann and Joseph and Helen, Miss Gilbert, David Wiggs, Scott Goodnight. It starts with having written goals. But remember, goals without a plan are just dreams. Plans without action are lies. Take a picture of that. Write that down. Stop living a life of lies because you create a bunch of BS poster boards with dreams and you don't do anything about it. If you like the picture, I have a dream board. It has a guy with abs on it. Like, I need to take that down because I have no plan to have abs. It's not in the cards for me. I have no plan. So what is that? That is simply a lie, Danielle, Lucas, Marion, Ian, Hannah. That's a lie. But what I do have plans for, I have plans to build Place to be the platform page that it gives you everything that you need for your business. And to be a place, Jessica, for our consumers to get everything they need for their house. I have a plan for that. That's not just a dream. That's a done deal. That's a goal, Chris Stewart. I'm not messing around. right? We're going to go out and make this happen. Do me a favor. Write down one thing that's going to change in your life in 2022. Just write it down and then put it in chat. One thing, just one, just one. Just write down one thing. One thing. I see focus, writing a book, consistency, income, leverage, buy a house, budgeting, more grit, finance, income, car. It's moving so fast. Wedding. Oh my gosh. I can't even read. It's going so quick. Now, what you have to do is you got to have a plan for it. Got to have a plan for it. There's a saying that I'm saying this week, but this isn't it, but it's riffing off of this, David Wiggs. But if you want to start making changes in your life, Jess and Veronica and Vince, Chris, great hat, love your hat, man. You got to start asking important questions. Write that down, everybody. There's a series of 3 words coming up that I want you to write down. Roz, I want you to write down. Ask important questions. Ask important questions. If you want to figure out what you want to change in your life, it starts with you slowing down and asking yourself some important questions. What do I want to change in my life? What do I want to change in my finances? What do I want to change in my relationships or my health? What do I want to change in how I show up every day? What do I want to change in my business? It requires you to ask other people great questions. Chris, what do you think I need to change? What do you think I need to do better? Where do you think I'm dropping the ball? Where am I failing? Ask important questions. Here's the first one. Write this one down, Queenie. Am I being the person that my dreams require? Am I, Julia and Ann, am I being the person, Michael Minson, that my dreams require? Lexi and Dave and Chelsea and my friend Chessie, Katie, Austin Keatner, Jody, I love your nose. I feel like your nose really brings out your eyes. It's really nice. I love your mask, the whole thing. It's just a winner. It's awesome. Am I being the person that my dreams require? I ask myself that from time to time. And here's the honest truth. Sometimes I am, and sometimes I'm not. Isn't that true, Tammy? And Ben Fox, and Adelina, and Nicole, and Sarah Tadlock, who climbs mountains nonstop, goes up and goes down and goes up and goes down. The whole thing confuses me, but she does it. Am I being the person that my dreams require? I want you to start asking yourself better questions. But what I really want you to do, Miss Meyer, now that you're all recovered from Mexico and you're back to get in the saddle, I want you to ask yourself important questions. Right, Tom? Ask yourself important questions. When you start asking yourself important questions, you can do one of the most important things that we have to do in 2022. That kind of felt like a Dr. Seuss line, which is solve important problems. Solve important problems. David Wiggs, you called it SIP. We're just gonna name it SIP, because I'm gonna start asking yourself. I know you're working. I know you're busy, Todd Taylor, and Kiki, and Dee, and Phyllis, and Nicole, and Louie, and Marie, and Emily, and Alex, and Cosman. I know you're busy, but are you solving important problems, or are you just solving problems? Here's the thing, Nicole. You are always going to have problems in your life. It's never going to stop. Always. It's part of life. A life without problems is a life without challenge. Hey, Joe France in Minneapolis. A life without challenge is a life without growth. A life without growth, that sucks, Dave Berg. Like, what's the point of us showing up every single day if we aren't growing into becoming a better human or a better shot, Jason Baker? Like, at some point, things got to start improving. A life without problems is a life without challenge. A life without challenge is a life without growth. A life without growth sucks. I feel like I have a lot of problems right now, Olivia. I feel like I'm really challenged. In fact, I told somebody yesterday, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And he said, you know what? It could be worse. And I said, what would be worse, Louis, than me not knowing what the hell I'm doing? He said, you thinking that you do. You guys hear that? Bunch of know-it-all people come in every single day thinking they know exactly what to do and they know everything. They don't need to learn anything. There's no growth, John Powers, that happens with that. Sometimes it's a blessing that we don't know what we're doing. Sometimes it's a blessing that we're afraid or we're worried or we're nervous. But the way out of that is we start solving important problems. We can't focus on what might happen in the future. We can't focus on what everybody else is doing. We can't focus on what other people are saying about us. But what we focus on today does matter. Here's what I learned over time is that 80% of the things that I've worried about never came to fruition. The 20% that did, I couldn't have changed anyway. So I just wasted all my time and energy. I gave away my happiness, my joy, and my love, worrying about shit that never actually happened. Can you imagine that? What a waste. Have you ever done that, anybody? Any of you ever worried about things that never came to fruition? That's stealing. Travis Bard and Melinda and Jessica and Baruch and Bob, Spencer, Leah, George J. That's just a waste. It's a waste of energy. See, what I know is that winners focus on things they can control. Winners, write that down. Winners focus on things they can control. Losers don't. What do losers do? They just focus on things they can't change. The weather, the traffic, somebody else, what their mom did, what their boyfriend did, what their girlfriend did. They focus on what everybody else is doing instead of what they can control. All we can control right now is how we're going to show up and what we're going to do, Todd Taylor. That's it. Make plans to change things that you can control. I'm talking about asking important questions. What in my life, Todd, well, welcome officially to place. What things in my life can I change right now? And if I changed them, would it make a big difference? If I changed them, would it make a big difference? Everybody go to my Facebook page today and jump in there. And we just introduced Todd Lemoyne and his entire team to play. Just go in there, just do a little comment. Welcome, Todd. Because I want you guys to know where Todd's from and that he's awesome. Just do me a favor. Every time we announce somebody awesome, just jump in there. Just jump in there and say, welcome to Place is the best decision of your life. Just do me that personal favor. Go into chat and just say, hey, every time, Ben, when you post a new partner and something awesome, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to make a promise to you that I'm going to comment and I'm going to interact. Rebecca, Noel, Katie, just go into chat. Just go into chat and just tell me if you're agreeing to do that real quick for me. Just do me that just real quick. We got to keep time on our calendar to work on priorities, pal. Remember, the best answers are the ones, Mark, that you can act on right now. Simple. Alex, Taylor, Shayla, Misty. Simple's the secret sauce. If your answer is long and complicated, or is going to take a lot of time, Birta or Jesse, it's not the right answer. The secret to our success is solving important problems with simple answers. Once we figure out by asking important questions, what important problems we need to solve, we need to plan important things. Write that down. Plan important things. You need to plan to do something that's going to make a big difference in your business or your life now, not later. Some of us are spending too much time learning our listing presentation when that's not your problem. Your problem is you don't have any listing appointments. Some of you are getting ready to onboard agents, but you don't have that problem because you don't have any freaking agents joining. You're learning contracts, but you don't have any buyers that want to write a contract. There's all these things that we do that are not the most important thing now. I guarantee you that if you find somebody that wants to write a contract, somebody on this call will help you get it done. If you find somebody that wants to talk about selling their house, I promise you, Luann's shaking her head, that we're going to find somebody to help you get that listing. We're going to figure it out. It's important that we start planning important things. I want to plan to win in 2022. What does that mean to you? For me, winning in 22 means I'm going to manage my thoughts, my energy. I'm going to manage my time, Deborah, David. I'm going to manage my money. I'm going to manage my money better next year. I'm going to make better financial decisions. I'm going to make better decisions on my calendar. I'm going to use time like it's money, and I'm going to do my best to protect it. And I'm going to use my energy like it's money, and I'm going to protect my energy so I have it left over for the people that are most important to me. I'm going to manage my thoughts, because the worst person in my life is this person that I call Bad Ben. Not the same as Bad Dad, everybody. Bad Ben is this little version of me who sits on my left shoulder that whispers in my ear, you can't do that. You're fat. You're an idiot. You're not smart enough. You should quit. You shouldn't work out. You should have ice cream. How about a cheeseburger? Like, he whispers in my ear nonstop, little bastard. He's always telling me the wrong things to do, little Bad Ben. And I got to flick him off my shoulder. And I got to say, no more, no more. No more Bad Ben, because I got to control my thoughts, my energy, my time, and my money. I know that success is guaranteed when priorities happen in the right order. Success is guaranteed, Valencia, when success is guaranteed, when priorities happen in the right order. It's so important that you figure out what should happen first, and then second, and then third. You should be doing every day. In our company, we have something called a priority sheet. Priority sheet is every day for ourselves. We write down a list of things we need to get done, and we put them in the right order. Every week, we write down what do we want to do in our department or for the entire week. And every month, we write down what are our big priorities for the month. You got to work with a clear sense of priority. See, everybody gets the same amount of minutes in an hour. I think it's still 60, Megan. It's what you do with them and how you invest them that will ultimately determine what you'll get out of the hours you have in your life, Jason and Lindsay and Shane and Faith and Nicole, Joel, what's up? Canada, Callie, Mike Stewart. So how do you fix that? You put a plan in place to have better days. Some of you, this is going to be a rerun for about 5 minutes, but it's a rerun because you aren't doing it. I'll stop rerunning when you start doing it. A daily plan. What is a daily plan? A daily plan is a commitment that tomorrow is going to be awesome. Tomorrow, I am going to be productive. Tomorrow, I am going to get shit done. Tomorrow, Ann and Lauren and Hazel, I'm going to win. Why? Because I'm tired of freaking losing. I'm tired of getting home at the end of the day and having no energy and feel like I got my ass handed to me. I'm tired of that. I want to get home and high five and be like, I freaking killed it today, ladies and gentlemen. Gavin, I killed it. High five. There you go. Thank you. High five. The daily plan starts the night before when you make a decision. It starts the night before when you make a decision that tomorrow is not going to be something that happens to me. Tomorrow is going to be something that I control. You make a decision. What is tomorrow going to be like? Will it move me forward or will it push me back? That's a decision that we're making. It's a commitment. And here's the thing. At most, Brianna, at most, Jen Lampy, happy birthday this week. Hope it was phenomenal. At most, it takes 15 minutes. So what I'm asking you all for, Tracy, is to give me 5, Carter, to 10 minutes every night that you're going to gift to yourself, or you're going to say tomorrow's going to be awesome, and stop making excuses. If you can find 15 minutes to focus and think about tomorrow, here's what the research says. Write this down. There's a 174% increase in productivity the following day. If you can give yourself 15 minutes, Mia and Katie and Alex, to focus on tomorrow, you're going to be 174% more productive the following day. Go into chat. Would you like tomorrow to be 174% more productive? Just answer me just real quick. What does that mean? That means you have more appointments than you ever had. You got more things done. You got more tasks completed. You have more energy at the end of the day. Like, these are all things that are truly, truly phenomenal. I want you to know that I don't like lying to you guys. I made that 174% up because I feel like you guys needed a number to buy into it, but it's probably actually a lot higher. It's probably a lot higher, but you guys all have to need numbers and stats, and you're going to quote that. I feel like it's going to help. So I just made that shit up. I did that for you. You're welcome, Chelsea. I just feel like it was a gift. You're welcome. Okay. Here's what the daily plan is. Take a picture of this, everybody. Please take a picture of this real quick. If you have an Android, throw your phone out and write this shit down. If you have an iPhone, just really quickly take a picture of this screen and then we can move on. No. Every night, here's what you're gonna do. Right before you leave work, right before bed, or I don't care, you could be sitting on the toilet. It doesn't matter to me. But you're just gonna give yourself 5 minutes, Brandon, and you're going to sit down and you're going to, for a second, you just close your eyes. You're going to say, hey, what does winning look like tomorrow? If I only accomplish one thing tomorrow, what would it be? So write this down. Step 1, what does winning look like tomorrow? Not what are all the tasks and crap that I have to get done. What is the one thing, Anthony, if I did tomorrow that would make me feel better, that would move the needle, that would be an important problem? What's the one important problem that I could solve tomorrow, Miss Herndon, that would make the rest of my life easier? It might be one more appointment. It might be get some price reductions. It might be get this big task done. It might be file your taxes. It might be reach out and say sorry to somebody, apologize, or ask for forgiveness. There's something that's this boulder, Samantha, in your life that every day you got to hop over. At some point, you're going to trip on it and you're going to fall down and you're not going to get up. So remove the boulder. What's the one thing tomorrow that you would do? Might be to get actually one more appointment tomorrow than you've been averaging, or to make 50 more calls just tomorrow than you've been doing. Just to go a little bit harder, JP. Number 2, here's what we're going to do, is we're going to look at our calendar and we're going to cancel anything on it that's not important. We're going to cancel the stuff that isn't important. I'm talking about these random appointments and invites and meetings and classes and things. Hey, Brandon, pay attention. These random things that are on our calendar that's eating up our life. Cancel them. I try to cancel 50% of the crap that's on my calendar every day because that's not moving the mission forward. They're just busy things. When I can't cancel it, I look at the calendar and say, what do I have booked for an hour that I can get done in 30 minutes? What do I have booked in 30 minutes that I can get done in 15? Because every 15 to 30 minutes that you can save is time that you can commit to being awesome tomorrow. Number 3, step 3, Katie, we're going to make a list of our priorities tomorrow. We're going to brain dump them right out of our head. This is going to come out of our head, and we're going to write them on a piece of paper. Right here, Sharpie, this white piece of paper. We're just going to write them down. And then when you're done writing them down, I want you to go out there, Delty, and I want you to put them in the order of what's most important. Look at that list of 5 or 6 things and just write a 1 by it and circle it. This is the number 1 thing I'm going to do tomorrow. This is the first thing I'm going to do tomorrow, Kevin. And if I get that done, what am I going to do next, David Bush? What am I going to do next? If I get that second thing done, Chelsea, what am I going to do third? And if I get the third thing done, Era, what am I going to do fourth? Banning, we got to stop coming home at the end of the night, getting our third and fourth thing done and having our first and second unfinished. We celebrate because we're busy, but we aren't celebrating because we're productive. Productive means, Tamara, that we get the first thing done first. By the way, Tamara, congratulations on getting your team to $2.5 million in commission. You were really a phenomenal human and one of my best friends, and I just love and adore you. Congrats. You were really awesome. Okay. That's step 3. Number 4, Jake, we're going to plan what we're going to do for our rituals. I don't mean like killing chickens and shit like in the Major League movie. No, what I'm thinking is our rituals are, when are we going to take our breaks? What are we going to eat tomorrow? What are we going to hydrate with? What are we going to read tomorrow? Just think about it for a few minutes. Write it down on that piece of paper. What, for every 90 minutes to 2 hours, I want you to have a ritual of doing something. Hydrate, Anna, eat, exercise, read, laugh, do something for 10 to 15 minutes every 2 hours. What the research says, that if you take breaks every 90 minutes to 2 hours, you're more productive, you have more energy, and you can go longer. I read a book once about a Native American tribe, and this Native American tribe walked, not for a day, but they walked for days and days and days and days and weeks through snow and cold, carrying everything that they owned, including their children and their babies and everything. How did they do it, Ann? Well, in the book said they would walk 10 steps and then stop. They found that if they walked 10 steps and then stopped, and then they walked 10 steps and they stopped, they could walk all day and they would never break a sweat and they would never get exhausted. As opposed, Courtney, to the people that just race every single morning and by 9:30 they're exhausted. Number 5, you're going to create a time block and you're going to set alarms for your priorities and for your rituals, your breaks, and for your number 1 thing. If you say, hey, tomorrow winning would be getting 1 seller appointment, and you don't have a block on your calendar tomorrow to get seller appointments, Tim, that would be silly. So we take the time, Savannah, to schedule our most important things. Number 6, we make a mental commitment and we even say it out loud. Hey, tomorrow, for tomorrow, Joseph, I'm going to stick to this plan just for 1 day. That's what a daily plan is. It literally takes me 5 minutes a day. I do it on my notepad on my phone, or I do it on a blank piece of paper with a Sharpie, where I simply think for a second, what does winning look like tomorrow? If I only got 1 thing done tomorrow, what would it be? What am I going to kill, Scott, tomorrow? I'm going to hit a home run tomorrow. What is that going to be? Number 2, I need time on my calendar to do it. What am I going to get rid of? Number 3, I'm going to make a list of my priorities. I'm going to put them in the right order. Number 4, I'm going to plan my breaks, my snacks. I just have my oatmeal. That's my snack, right? I'm going to plan how much I'm going to drink, hydrate. I'm going to think about what am I going to read tomorrow, Rosina. Then I'm going to block those things. And then for Luke, for 1 second, I'm just going to, at the end, I'm saying, I'm going to follow this plan tomorrow. I have a book right next to my desk right here called Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Anybody ever read that book? Brian's shaking his head. He read that book. It's a great freaking book. You should all read it. If you're too lazy, you don't want to read it. I did an interview with David Goggins on the Win Make Give podcast. Just listen to me interview David. He's a trained killer. David had to lose a bunch of weight to get into the Navy when he first wanted to join the military. He walked in there and said, I want to join the military. And the guy said, you got to weigh 80 pounds less. David hadn't ran before. He hadn't worked out. He came in, and on his mirror, he didn't write 80 pounds. He wrote 1 pound, because he realized if he couldn't lose 1 pound, 80 pounds was irrelevant. If you can't save $100, you're not going to save 1,000. You can't save $1,000. You're not going to save 10,000. You can't save 10,000. You aren't going to be able to buy a house. You aren't going to be able to save 100,000, or you aren't going to be able to become a millionaire. If you can't make 50 calls, you aren't going to make 75. We got to pick small little things and make a commitment to tomorrow. I'm not worried about what you're going to do for the entire 2022. I'm worried about what you're going to do tomorrow, what you're going to do in January, and what you're going to do with the rest of December. Here's the next one. Write this down. You want to start winning? Michelle Bailey, put your camera on. Andrea, put your camera on. What are you doing, people? Sarah Bolton, I know you people.
It is on. It's just dark here.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, do important things. Do important things. If you're going to ask important questions and you're going to solve important problems, Kyle Shores, and you're going to plan important things, the next step is you got to do important things. How you use your time tomorrow is going to matter. Every one of us should make a commitment that every day we give 60 minutes to the single thing that would change our life in business the most. 60 minutes. I'd rather you all give me 60 minutes of 100% focus than 3 hours of sitting there checking Facebook and email and dinking around and talking to your neighbors. Because if you can't give me an hour or 60 minutes of being focused, you're never going to give me 3 hours. And if you don't give me 3 hours, you aren't giving yourself 3 hours. You don't give yourself this time, you're never going to become the person that your dreams require. 60 minutes. Jake, 60 minutes every day that you're going to reach out and find talented people that want to be a part of our mission in Folsom. Michelle, you're going to do it in Boise. David Wiggs, you're going to spend an hour every single day finding the newest members of Place and Brevity. If any of you feel like I'm talking to you right now, I am. Figure out how you're going to spend 60 minutes tomorrow. It's going to be the most important 60 minutes. And you're going to give yourself 60 minutes every day that nobody gets to interrupt, and that you are going to work on your biggest things. 60 minutes of focus done daily, write this down, equals 45 full 8-hour work days or 9 days of work. Sorry, 9 weeks of work. Imagine how much further you'd be ahead if you worked 9 extra weeks this year. I think you all could get a lot of shit done, Christine, in 9 weeks. The way that you get an extra 9 weeks a year is you spend an extra 60 minutes every day doing something focused and important. I'm not even talking about working more hours. Drives me so nuts when people come to me and say, I'm so exhausted. I've been working so hard. Oh my gosh, have you been working extra hours? No, but while I've been here, I've been so busy. It's so hard. I'm sorry. I thought you were working hard the entire time we're here. This isn't band class. We're coming here to do our best. We're coming here, Leah, to do our best. 60 minutes, 45 extra work days, and 9 extra weeks for you to hit it out of the park. Blows me away. Just blows me away. But you got to commit to it, everybody. You can create lasting changes in just an hour if you focus on committing. So do me a favor real quick. Go into chat and just tell me, what should your 60 minutes next week be focused on? Just do it. Just answer. Come on, hurry up. Lead gen, recruiting, appointments, auto plans, door knocking, 60 minutes every day. That'd make a difference. If you're doing good, but you're not doing great, add 60 minutes to what you have been doing, Isaac. Just up it a little bit. Up it a little bit. Make the 15-minute plan a part of your culture for you and your family. Share your 15-minute plan every night with the manager or partner or operator that you work with every night. Stop doing it for a week and then cancel it. You don't want to have 1 week. You want to have awesome weeks and awesome months. Give yourself 5, 10, or 15 minutes every night to focus on tomorrow, and text somebody and let them know that you did it. And then give yourself 1 hour a day and make it part of your culture. Focusing for 1 hour a day on the most important priority is a foundation of our culture. We're not a culture of potlucks. You guys know the average agent in America does less than 3 transactions. The average agent at most large real estate brands, which means, like the median, 50% do less than 1 transaction. That at Place, our average per agent productivity is nearly 1,800% higher than the average agent in America. Yet that isn't even close to your potential. We have individual agents on our sales teams that are going to sell 100 homes this year themselves. 100 homes. It's pretty incredible. We have individual producers in Brivity and at our companies that are doing extraordinary things for our companies. And we have a group of people that are mailing it in. They're punching the clock. They're on this call today, probably with their camera off, because somebody told them that they have to be here, not because they want to improve their life. That's a B player. I want you guys to understand that B players kill companies. A players, that's what we need. Surround ourselves with A players, people that are all in, people that are committed, people that want to be a part of this, people that want to get wealthy and rich and happy and healthy and successful from working at our company, this company Place that you're all part of. No B players. In order to have no B players, we all have to do the SIP, S-I-P. We got to do the 15 minutes. We got to do the 60 minutes. We got to understand that relationships matter. The relationships we have, Matt, with our people, with our database, with our friends, with our coworkers, with our bosses, it's built on a foundation of communication. We over communicate what we're doing, how we're doing. We don't just reach out when things are bad. We reach out when things are awesome. We reach out when things are okay. People matter. That's what makes our company so different, is that we care about people at a different level. I'm going to be the first one, Jill and Jonah and Todd and Hannah and Elizabeth. I'm going to be the first one, Gregory, to bail you out of jail when you're in jail. I'm going to be the first one. I'll be the first one in line saying, man, you screwed up, but here's your bail money. I'm going to bail you right on out. Because people matter to us. I want you to think about a few of the things that we talked about today. What I really want you to leave with, I want you to leave with this feeling that if I do anything, I'm going to solve important problems. SIP. I'm going to sip it every single day. Every single day, I think that I'm going to be solving important problems. SIP. We walk by somebody. What's your SIP today? What's your SIP? What are you going to do? Well, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to sip it today. I'm going to get the most important things done. I'm going to make progress because I'm tired of the life that I've been living, and I want to get into the life that I know I can live. That's what I was thinking about. Do me a favor. Raise your hand, hit the hand button. And then I will have a few of you share some takeaways or some questions or some thoughts today from Bad Dad. And let's just share some takeaways today. Who wants to go first? Maurice, please. Thank you.
One of the most important takeaways that I got from today's call was to make the important things in your day, the things that are going to improve your life, a priority, and put those things on your calendar. Make those your priorities while you're time blocking. That was my big takeaway today. And that's what I'm going to start doing.
I love that, Maurice. Let me ask you one more question before you go, buddy. What's your number one thing today?
My number one thing today is to set an appointment, a salary appointment.
Awesome. Hey, Maurice, I'm putting my cell phone number into chat. You better text me when you do that. When you get that appointment, you better text me. If something happens, you don't get it today, you better show up tomorrow and you get it. And you keep showing up until you get that appointment. And then you text me and you say, Ben, I killed it. I got that done. All right.
Yes, sir.
Joe? Joe France?
Hey.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing? So my was like one of the first things that you said. It starts with written goals. Goals without a plan are just dreams, and plans without action are just lies.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And yeah, I mean, that's, being new to place. It's something that's my focus right now. So
I love that. Thank you for showing that, Joe France from Minneapolis. I love it. Matt Harper, my friend, what's your question or takeaway from today?
My takeaway is around planning the 15 minutes for the next day, the next week. Something that I was talking with my team about, the importance that I've recognized that I'm missing, and what's going to move us further the fastest.
Yeah, well said, Matt. Well said. Hey, Michelle, is that how I pronounce it? Morales?
Yep, Michelle. Hey, Ben.
Hi, Michelle.
Mine, I could have probably hung up after the first like 10 minutes because I
Gosh, I'm so glad you didn't. So glad you didn't.
the one that I took away like very strongly was don't take 9 months for something you can do in 30 days. That was phenomenal. So thank you.
Awesome. Ms. Rodriguez, please.
Mr. Kinney, I think I've told you this before too. Like, I think my favorite thing is always when we get information that tells us we're on the right track with what we're doing, and you also have this like impending doom that there's so much more you could be doing. And I feel that way today, which also just tells me that like I'm in the right place. Is always that. But really, it is just making sure we're minimizing the busyness, because there is importance in those things we have to do as well. And I'm a huge believer and user of my calendar, and that helps me track how much time I'm actually using to do certain things. So I can adjust that. And I feel that pressure of, if I've got a space on my calendar, I better put something there that I need to do. And sometimes that is just doing like a breathing exercise. But it's the sense of belonging that comes with conversations like these, where there's a constant opportunity for us to grow and improve, but it's a safe space to do it. So I just love that.
Love that. Thank you for sharing. Ms. Meyer.
Hi. You're always going to have problems in your life. A life without problems is a life without challenge. And that's a life without growth, and a life without growth sucks.
Yeah.
In your words.
Thank you for sharing that one, Ms. Meyer. You've had a lot of growth since I met you, probably 12 years ago. Can you believe that? Man, I was back then, I was tall, tan, skinny. I looked like Tom Cruise, or I looked.
You had Ryan Gregg abs back then.
Oh my gosh, I look like Ryan Gregg, but I couldn't grow a beard back then either. Nicole from Atlanta.
Yes, hi. So can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. I took away that winners focus on things that they can control. So I can control setting 60 minutes out of my day to not be interrupted. I can control preparing myself for the next day. I can control things that are happening, but I can't focus on the things I can't control.
So good. Thank you for sharing that. Flavio?
Hello, Ben. I'm a new agent here with Place, but so I think what I took away from this meeting was just the sense of accountability. no excuses. Like you have to accept when you're doing right, but you also have to accept when you're doing wrong and hold yourself accountable. So that's what I took from this movie.
Great takeaway. Eric Wang.
Hey, so I took away was to just focus on growth. And if like I want to be a millionaire, I got to focus on saving that $100 first. And if I want to make 24 transactions, set one appointment today and just take those steps and sip away. So
What's your cell phone number, Eric?
360
Okay.
961
931.
961 9748.
Are you an iPhone user?
Yep.
Okay, check your phone.
Got it.
I just sent you $1,000. You are now one step closer to being a millionaire. You're 1,000 steps closer to being $1 million. Just sent it to you. It's on Apple Pay. Just verified it. Okay, now Eric, you're a little bit closer to being a millionaire. Jesse, what was your takeaway? Oh, you're muted, sweetheart. Jesse.
Thank you again for your time last Wednesday. You made a huge impact on the team. I appreciate it. Well, what I took away today was huge for me was 60 minutes of focus done daily equals 45 full 8-hour workdays or 9 full weeks of work.
Yeah, it adds up, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a huge awakening.
Yeah, we can make a big difference in just giving us that extra hour every day. I love it. Savannah?
Hi. That was really awesome to see, Ben. Congratulations, Eric. You're going to kill it. But my biggest takeaway is that players kill companies. No matter what our roles are, no matter how long we've been with our organization, as long as we're showing up committed, that we're all in and we're thinking about how we're making an impact. Those are the most important things, and that's how we need to be showing up. And those are the people that we need to be recruiting and keeping in our world. So love that.
Well said, Savannah. You're an A player. You've been ever since the first day you've been here. Just go find more A players, right? We could take over the world with that. Katie, or is that how I say it?
Yeah, that's right. This is so silly, but I needed to hear this because I make lists all the time. Organize them, Don't just make the list with a jumbly mess. Actually organize that and start at the top. I love that.
Yeah, I love that. So important, right? It's the difference between a to-do list and a priority list. I got a million to-dos, but they're not the most important things. Love it. Miss St. Pierre.
Mine was really simple. Even though you think you've been doing good, but not great, add 60 minutes to your day. I'm like, we all have the time to find something new or better. Go to the gym, take time for yourself, add 60 more minutes of calls. We can all do that to better ourselves, to be that A player. So I took that one. I'm going to run.
Yeah, so good. Amy's like an amazing example of what happens when you show up and you become an A player in Anchorage, and her family had to move and place. We'll follow you wherever you have to go, as long as you're an A player. If you're a B player, you just go somewhere else. But if you're an A player, Amy, I don't care if you're in Oklahoma, Utah, Alaska, or you want to come to Washington, we're going to follow you. Love that. Paul?
Thanks, Ben.
Hey there. What I really loved is that winning equals managing your thoughts, your energy, your time, and your money. And each one of those is a separate and distinct thing, but they all go together. And so important to manage your thoughts and to be aware of them, and just stay on top of when things are getting negative in your head, and I don't know, push them away and just, like you say, manage them. The thoughts are so important.
Paul, it's the number one thing that's held me back from being the better version of me. There's 2 books that I've read that changed my life. 1, The Untethered Soul, read it 7 to 8 times. 2, The Enlightened Gardener. If you want to like fix this, fix what I'm working on fixing, you read those 2 books and text me when you're done. They will change your life. Jess?
Hey, Ben. So a couple of weeks ago, somebody told me a quote. You might be familiar with it, but it says, we tend to overcomplicate this business to make excuses for our lack of. That's just really stuck me, and I really like the set idea. I think it's important to remember if we don't know where to start, we're not going to have anywhere to finish. So thanks for that.
Well said, Jess. We tend to complicate things to justify our inaction. We tend to complicate things to justify our inaction. Awesome. Haley?
Hi. For those of you who don't know, I'm with Brevity Support. So a lot of what makes me successful is helping make all of you successful. And my biggest takeaway from this was just how much not only we care about helping to make ourselves successful and find that, but how much we all care about doing that for each other. That's why Ben does these calls for us, is to share his amazing knowledge and his passion for what he does. And I just love to, see everyone showing up for this and helping each other do this, because that power and that drive is so energetic, and there's so much to share there. And I just love seeing all of you come to us here at Support and just get to use the platform. And I just love showing up for these, and I feel like I learned so much from Ben and from each other. And
Awesome. Thanks, Haley. Everybody, see, there's faces behind every support line that you call, and they're freaking phenomenal, beautiful, amazing, and smart humans. And we should be super sweet to them, because they're there to solve our problems. And if we aren't, they will just delete us from the internet and we will disappear. Brian Williams, and then Banning.
So what I took away today kind of goes hand in hand with our Texas Power Up yesterday, when you said, like, I try to cancel 50% of what's in my calendar. Jordan Davis yesterday said, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. And that really set in how to prioritize what I put on my calendar and what I actually need to accomplish every day.
Oh, so good. Jordan killed it yesterday on the Texas Power Up. I love that. So good. Banning?
Yeah. My big takeaway from this one is the setting up your day. I get so distracted. Like the last 2 days, I told Brady I've been putting out fires, and I got exactly 0 hours of lead gen done. So I'm behind on my launch commitments, and that's not okay. When I could have just been doing the 10 steps when I could and making those commitments happen, so I wasn't behind.
Banning,
Yeah.
if you study forest fires, what you'll know is they focus on the most important ones and they let the rest of them burn.
Mm-hmm.
If you really think about it that way, most forest fires are just left to do what they do. They naturally work themselves out. It's important for us to pick the biggest ones, get them out of the way, and then go back to the things that are going to eliminate future forest fires.
Exactly.
Well
and I'd
said.
love to go in on that ranch with you in Montana, by the way.
Perfect. You're gonna want a cowboy hat with me too, Deidre?
Okay, hi everybody. My takeaway was, am I being the person my dreams require? So I thought that was really huge. It's something that very much centers me when I think about it, and not just making money. I mean, wealth building is my passion, but I think that being in this business and having something motivate you day in, day out, 365 days a year, your why has to really resonate with you, if that makes sense. And so that was very powerful to me.
I heard a motivational speaker speak once, and he said, you know what? Somebody came up to me at my last event and walked up and said, hey, you know what the problem, Zig Ziglar, with all your motivation crap is? And Zig said, tell me, what's wrong with it? And he says, it never lasts. And Zig Ziglar looked him in the eyes and said, well, neither do showers. That's why I take them often. If we want to be like if we want to find motivation and find things inside of us, we got to visit that well every single day. My friend Adelina, she sent me a meme the other day. She said, Mount Everest is filled with bodies of motivated people. And I thought to myself, man, it takes more than motivation to survive and to exceed. You got to have motivation. You got to have a plan. You got to have priorities. You got to be surrounded by people that are going to help save you, right? And still, there's no guarantees. But that's awesome. Brianna Peterson, please.
Sorry, I muted myself. I think my biggest takeaway was that the winners, it was the quote, winners focus on what is important and losers don't. And just, I think altogether focusing on planning my day and taking like a little extra time to the night before to actually plan everything, because that's so key. And I think that's where I lose some of, you know, what I could be doing during the day because of that. But I really like that. And I think I'm going to start doing it more.
Give it a try. You know, just try my plan for a week and tell me that wasn't the best week that you've had in a long time. Just give it a try. Jill.
Hey, I feel like we're all rolling around in just place love right now, but my A player, Jessica, has something she wants to share.
Hey, Jessica.
So for me, it was success is guaranteed when priorities happen in the right order. And that hits home because the Lord started speaking to me before my father passed away, a couple months actually, about being very pragmatic and practical in my approach, ending this year and moving into 2022. And I know that that was a word for me at that time, because 2 months in the future, I wasn't going to have my father. And this place is the only place that I could have survived that tragedy and that casualty. And in order to have the success and show up for my life the way I want to, it has to come with putting the priorities and those building blocks in the right place. And I just appreciate the motivation and the camaraderie and the culture that this place provides, because it literally is life or death for people, and it's life for me. So thank you.
You know, I lost my mom a few years ago, and here's what I've learned. The missing and the pain never goes away. It just changes. Over time, the pain turns into memories and laughs. And from that, you think about those things. And every time you're sad or it hurts, a memory comes up, or you laugh, or something that you remember. And I just think that's a good lesson for you to think about every time. We'll never forget. It's never going to get easy, but we can turn it into something else. Like my mom's no-bake cookie recipe. If any of you guys want it, it's badass. Like it's so good. So when I think about my mom, I think about some of the great things that I remember. Chike, is that how you pronounce your first name, sir?
Sorry, I was trying to unmute. It's a Chike.
Chike, thank you for helping me there. Chike, what did
No
you
problem.
take away?
My takeaway was definitely being the person that, you know, we dream to be. And part of that for me was because, you know, as I talk to my team leaders and, you know, as they are always encouraging me and giving me that constructive criticism to be who I want to be. And as I challenge myself to, you know, reach my goals, you know, I see myself growing in that area. And then the other part of it was, you know, the extra 60 minutes, that time in your day. And I'm just honestly, it comes to mind because I'm like struggling with an extra trip to go back home to Ohio right now. And, you know, I've got it all planned out. We're leaving the country at the end of the year. But just the other day, my dad sprung on me like, hey, I want you to come back a week early. And I'm just like, I've got work. There's a lot of things going on. And it's for my grandmother's funeral and everything. But it's just like, well, that's why we're leaving the country and that's why we're doing all of that. And now it's an extra week, you know, to come back to Ohio to do some other things. And I'm just like, you know, I really need that time. And, you know, not just the 60 minutes a day, but I need that time overall to really keep being the person I want to be the person I dreamed of, to be that, you know, that person that's building wealth and what have you for my family. And it's like, you know, I just wanted to communicate that because it really resonated with me, that I feel like I am making the right choice by, you know, telling my family, you know, I'm going to miss this part of the trip. I am still going on the, you know, the main part, but, you know, this whole extra part of taking a whole extra week and whatnot is like, you know, this isn't the most important thing right now because it's just extra time that we're going to be dedicating a whole extra 3 weeks to at the end of the year. So, you know, I definitely wanted to say that was encouraging, and, you know, it made me feel a little bit better about that decision, and, you know, just making sure that I'm putting my career, you know, as a priority and what's going on and building, you know, becoming that person I want to be.
Yeah. It's a hard balance. Every yes has a corresponding no. So when you make those decisions, sometimes you say, Dad, I'm going to come home, but I'm going to spend 2 hours every day before we get to hang out on the phone doing my job. And we can do
Right.
that remotely if we ever have to, right? Stephanie, go ahead.
So I guess my biggest takeaway was when you rephrased a productivity issue for me and said that plans without action are a lie. And all of a sudden that was an integrity issue and not a productivity issue. So it really, hey Neil, it really just reinforced the importance of not just what you say yes to, but saying no to the things that you're not going to be able to take care of or that aren't necessarily in your lane. Was the phrase that Holly used that struck with me, stuck this week. So thanks for rephrasing that one for me.
And thanks for stepping up and all of you in Denver for helping our friend Kelly, who's had a really, really tough week and should be on all of our prayers. I'm going to take 2 more and then the rest of you send me a text and let me know what your takeaway is. Kevin and then Pedro, and then I got to high five and get us out of here. Somebody's going to yell at me.
Thanks, Ben. I'm a new agent with the Gregory Home Team. What I took out of this mostly is your motivation. I can listen to you speak all day long. I truly believe without a plan, I'll never achieve the goals that I have. So hearing you say that, taking the time to write out what I'm going to do each day prior to going to bed helps me sleep, gives me the energy to wake up in the morning. And I truly believe everything you said. But the thing I took the most from this was just listening to you speak, your motivation. It's encouraging. It's good to be part of a team that everybody wants to help each other and see each other achieve goals. And I just want to thank you more than anything to allow me to sit in on such a great call. Everything you said really hits home, and I'll use it in my everyday life.
Thanks, Kevin. It's important that we all realize that we're not a solo agent in a solo town. We're a part of something much bigger, and there's a huge community here. Pedro, last one. Make it really good, buddy.
All right. So, I took a whole bunch of notes, but the biggest takeaway I have is the passion that you showed up with, the delivery, your vulnerability, and it really spoke to me about the things that I'm doing, that I'm not doing, and how I need to show up better. So I thank you for that.
Pedro, solve important problems, everybody. Let's go do a sip today if we could. Thanks everybody for being here. Jim, Ruby, Larissa, Sandy, Amy, all of you. Have a really freaking awesome Friday, a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Ben.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ben.